Been nearly 4 years since Russia invaded Ukraine, and despite a renewed push for peace, Ukrainians have remained under siege. The latest Russian attack killing at least one person in Kyiv, with Russian missiles and drones targeting homes and energy infrastructure. Meantime, U.S. forces continue to amass near the Middle East as President Trump weighs possible military action in Iran. International correspondent Robert Sherman live for us in Kyiv. And Robert, the president is expected to focus on foreign affairs in his State of the Union tomorrow night.
Without question, Nichole. And when the president addresses the nation, two separate theaters are going to be at some of their most pivotal and tense moments. Just moments ago here in Kyiv, we actually got a ballistic missile alert here for the region. It is still very much so an on-edge environment here in Eastern Europe. And then, of course, you have the Middle East as a whole, as these negotiations play out between the United States and Iran, and the pressure continues to mount. We just got this in today from the U.S. Embassy in Beirut, as the State Department says that they are telling non-essential employees, their non-emergency employees, to leave, saying, quote, "We continuously assess the security environment, and based on our latest review, we determined it prudent to reduce our footprint to essential personnel." They also say that any employees that are staying there are not permitted to travel personally without permission. That, as the USS Ford is slowly making its way to the region. It was spotted in the Greek Isles today. It should be in the Middle East in a matter of a couple of days, meaning not one, but two high-powered aircraft carriers will be there in the region. All of that U.S. firepower is at the U.S.'s disposal, with the president saying he's prepared to put it to use should it come to that. But meanwhile, here in Ukraine, we're on the eve of the 4-year anniversary of the invasion. And this year, this winter, has been different than any other, with the power and energy infrastructure coming under fires.
And all my family members. I think it's kind of an unimaginable toll that the war is taking on Ukrainians mentally. I'm starting to see cracks in all my family members and my friends. We're all just trying to get through a single day at a time, if that.
As we were saying, that woman explaining there that the emotional toll is so high because of the energy infrastructure constantly being struck here. The temperatures have been single digits here many days, Nichole, in which people don't have power, they don't have heat. If you're lucky, you have a generator. Many are left out in the cold. So that's the international dynamic at play here. A lot of uncertainty here in Ukraine. And then, of course, this mounting tension building day by day in the Middle East. Nichole.
So let's talk about the situation in the Middle East. Robert, at this point, is there optimism a deal will be struck with Iran before we would see any sort of military action?
Well, the public messaging that is coming out from both Tehran and Washington is that there is eagerness to make a deal. There is eagerness to continue having these conversations here. But of course, there's a lot of skepticism between both of these parties who inherently do not trust one another. That being said, though, this is from the president of Iran. This was his takeaway of where conversations are going. Iran is committed to peace and stability in the region. Recent negotiations involved the exchange of practical proposals and yielded encouraging signals. However, we continue to closely monitor U.S. actions that have made all necessary preparations for any potential scenario. There will be another round of talks between Iran and the United States taking place Thursday in Geneva. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, the foreign minister of Iran, have gone through multiple rounds of these talks so far, many hoping that there's a breakthrough this week, but preparing for the possibility of there not being one. Nichole.
All right, Robert Sherman live for us there in Ukraine. Thank you. And be sure to watch NewsNation State of the Union coverage. That is tomorrow night, starts at 6 Eastern, with special editions of The Hill, Elizabeth Vargas reports, and Cuomo before the address. And then stay tuned after the president's speech for full reaction and analysis. That's tomorrow night here on NewsNation.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.